Okay, welcome. Christina Merkley here. It's the process pop-up. And these are the free drop-ins I've been doing for emotional, mental processing support using visual skills and lots of other modalities as well to assist with all that 2020 is continuing to bring. I did launch two private, what I'm calling the visual satsangs. Tuesday evening is now sold out. That started last night. There's one spot left on Saturday. We're having some shuffling of seats between the different cohorts. So that's coming up in a couple of days. Those are going to be running for the next 6 months. So they're 24 sessions just to bring support during these, as everyone says, unprecedented times, right? Crazy cuckoo times. To help people deal with how that's impacting individually and obviously collectively as we're in different regions and different things are happening. I'm going to do a quick screen share here. And what I'm going to bring up is just the meeting startup chart. I'm going to run through this quite quickly, but it just helps to bring orientation. This is tricky when we do these process pop-ups because it's drop-in. So we have people who are well aware of what's going on, and then we have new folks who drop by too. So I do this every time just as a way of setting the ground here and making us aware of what our container is. After I do this, we'll pass around the mic, find out what's up, and if there are some process bits to do, we'll settle in on them and see what happens. So desired outcome-wise, this is support during these times. Inner work assistance. My belief is that's a revolutionary act, and even more important nowadays. It's an ongoing community. I'm wanting to, started as a one-off kind of thing at the start of things, and it just because I have these skills and knowledge base and just what I do, I couldn't stand by and do nothing while people are having different kinds of reactions. Of course, I have reactions and things going on in my own life as well, but that's why it's here as a continuity and through line through these times. It's emergent agenda, which means I just hold this space and I trust the process. So today this is our smallest group yet, but I just launched all these private groups. So that's my guess about what's going on. So wonderful. 2 people come, I hold space for 2 people, 20 people come, I hold space for that. So it's really emergent, co-created, different every time. There is a companion page that goes with this. You would have been on it if you signed up to get the link. And just to let you know, if you scroll down that page on my site, the process groups page, there's a whack of visual tools. I've just selected out the ones, I have 40 plus tools that I've created over the years for working with individuals, doing lots of different things. So I've cherry picked out the ones that I think are most useful for our current context, and I've placed them up there. Chances are, with the process bits we do today, I may be using one of those tools. I might also just be working from blank paper as well. But point you to there for those resources, because there's lots of stuff you can do on your own as well, instead of just being here in the process group with me leading things. Roles. This is a co-creation, so I hold the container, but it's built off of you guys and what you bring here. I'm a facilitator, a visual coach. I also, in the midst of a Kundalini awakening for 10 years. So there's a lot that's going on for me around energetics and oneness and non-dual and just consciousness expansion. My work more and more is going there these days, as my life does. And head, heart, and gut here. This is working with different types of consciousness. I have a very left brain background as much as this kooky Kundalini stuff is happening, and business background and facilitation and stuff. I attract a lot of very smart intellectual people. So our heads are normally very active and we welcome them, but also the embodiment, the heart and the belly is also welcome. And often that's what's missing in these times. And in those of us who are uber intellectual or have to be, our poor heads can't take the load. They're working valiantly for us, and steam is coming out of our heads. and we bow to them, but what we want to do also is bring up the heart that's always there, and the belly, the instinctual base as well. And usually that balances things out. And this is about drawing out your own wisdom. And a lot nowadays, I'm doing a process called inquiry, which I am just in love with, because it's showing me through you, through the sages that show up here, through your consciousness, it's teaching all of us about where the balance points are and where the soothing is, for, authentic soothing for the nervous system. So usually we find our way to head, heart, and gut somewhere in here too. In terms of norms, just how to be, just invite you to inhabit your own experience. You don't have to be anybody different than yourself or what authentically is happening. Any emotions are welcome across the full spectrum. Sometimes people are understandably in the so-called lower emotions, grief or anger, despair, frustration, etc. Or you might be more in the mid zone, like bored or frustrated. Or you might be up at the nice tippy top of things where human beings always like to reside, but we kind of get everything. But that would be contentment, joy, appreciation, love, kind of the big ones, right? They're all big, but so, and it's interesting if you higher up the emotional spectrum, when there's stuff going on in the collective, often that can be, people will report they feel a little guilty about that they're actually having a pretty good time, or there's some silver linings to some of the things that are happening. So that's totally normal, as is everything else that's going on. So inhabit your own experience. So I statements instead of generalities, you kind of statements. If there's any critiquing going on, my attempt is to have it be about concepts or content than about people. And the whack of this is, this is really about conditioning. So a lot of the work that goes on is when we're charged or reactive, plenty to go around right now, but that's really an opportunity, if you care to take it, to use it to kind of trace it like a hook line to go, what is this connected to? And my language for that, often it will be orphans, and any language I use, if it's uncomfortable for you, you can always find things language that's more suitable for you. So I can give lots of different options if orphans is not comfortable, but that's the kind of pushed off or fragmented. It can be very vulnerable parts of our psyche from childhood or teenage years, also from adulthood, different kinds of traumas to various degrees. And those sweet and vulnerable and kind of cast aside scared parts often will have bodyguards. So those are the ones that are a little higher up the emotional scale, and they're can be defensive. They can be back to some of those other emotions, angry, confrontational. And sometimes we'll have orphans pop up and then bodyguards follow close on their heels, and we can have bodyguards duking it out in the process group. And there's an opportunity when that does happen. We've had that happen in the process pop-up where people are conscious and they're really open to working with this stuff. We'll see both sides. And when we trace down the roots on both sides, when these lightning fast interactions happen, it can be very illuminating about what's going on for each person in that split second. And that kind of understanding into the other can be, life-changing. And just that whole concept itself, if you apply it to all the different charges and things that happen interpersonally, internationally, interglobally, all that kind of stuff, it helps to grow our consciousness to understand the fuller picture of what can be happening. Some other quick language sometimes is moving from the trauma field into the generative field. And if you are already in the generative field, wonderful. We want to milk that for all it's worth. Yeah. All right. If you do leave before we're over, and sometimes I end up doing bonus time as well if I'm midway through doing something with people, or I think something's on the table that I really want to work with and give support to that person, I may go beyond the 90 minutes we usually do. And if you need to leave anywhere during the time, totally understandable. It's good if you can put a note in the chat function for me. I don't think this would go on today, but in case it does, if things get contentious, right? I sometimes will wonder when people leave, how are they? So if you can just give me a little note, even if you are pissed off, charged, leaving, then I know, and I will follow up with people. Or leaving, not charged, totally fine, just need to go to a meeting, then I know I don't have to worry about you. So, yeah, okay. Because it's interesting holding space for free public process groups, right? Interesting dynamics, but the times call for it. Okay, so thanks for your indulgence there, setting the scene so we understand what's up here. I'm gonna stop that share. And let's just pass around the mic and say hello. And then if there is anything top of mind, like how come you came to a process group today, let me know what that is, and we will find our way. Add all this mess of tools and different things that I have that hopefully will be of support. And usually it's a beautiful experience. So I look forward to what's going to emerge here today. Yiely, if you don't mind, since you've been here before, I'll put you on the spot. So
yeah.
Denise gets a little time to get acquainted here. Yeah, acclimatized.
Of course.
Yeah.
So hi, Denise. Hi, Christina. I'm calling from Calgary, Alberta in Canada, and it's a balmy -4.
I heard Edmonton got snow. Did you guys? Yeah.
We have lots of snow, and everything's relative, right? So for Calgarians, this is balmy. I'm originally from the West Coast, so this is a adjustment to shovel in October. And I forgot what the questions were, Christina.
What are you bringing? Are you bringing anything here that you want assistance on?
Well, I haven't come to one of these in a long time, and I wanted to connect, and I thought I would come and support in holding space, being part of the community, but
there's no place to hide.
I know our community's a trio today. There really is no place to hide. So if we can find a high ground, that's nice. So that's my cat Kyber. I guess he wanted to say hello to you. And that's
now we're gonna have to do a process group for the kitty cat and dog. Aw.
I know. This wasn't scripted, I promise. So yeah, that's
fight.
I know. They kept their good behavior because maybe they knew they're being recorded. Yeah, I'm just here on my lunch break and looking forward to connecting. One thing that I bring with me is like staying in this generative space, given how much volatility is happening and how people in healthcare are often below that line, and wondering how might I support them. And for me, having, you know, Kyber and Isla, it's so delightful because we're a tribe and staying in that generative space. And sometimes we dip, like when they fight, like cats and dogs. Yeah. But yeah, generally it's just kind of thinking like, okay, there's likely another year or maybe more before there's a vaccine, there's enough of it, and before ever it's deployed to enough people. Mm-hmm. So what does this long game look like? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I got the content. We'll see if we're able to help you process amongst the cat and dog shenanigans, but anyway, we'll see that there's plenty to hold space and work with there, Yiely. So thank you. I've got that logged. Good. Let me go to Denise and then we'll see who we start with. And let me get you unmuted. I used to be able to unmute people myself, but it doesn't let me anymore. So up to you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
I'm Denise, and I'm brand new.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 80% of why I'm here is curiosity. I watched one of the videos that you were in with the future self and about leaving the corporate world. And so my curiosity is like off the charts here. So the reason is because I left the corporate world some time ago and was unhappy with, my life being paperwork. So I wanted to go into the creative world. And so I've done that for several years. And now I'm in the place of what now? And it's not that I want to totally go into that. It's just, I love the process. I'm a visual person. If I'm creative, of course, I'm a visual person. Also, just the key words that kind of come up in all that I've read so far has been about the crossroads and all that good stuff, that I'm just curious and interested in wondering how this works. So that's kind of my thing. I don't have any pets in the room at all.
Good thing.
A lot of art supplies and sewing stuff, but other than that, I tried to clean the room, but it's just been an interesting week, and I'm in the process of trying to find the next job and getting way overwhelmed with that. God, it's just not my favorite thing to do at all. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and this feels very awkward and uncomfortable. But I'm going to stick with it and see how this goes. So.
Cool. Thanks. Yiely, let's see how your sound is. And I know too, if you're okay with it, then we'll acclimatize. So I'm kind of feeling the pull there. I'm kind of a little split because with Denise, and to me, I think it's future self work. It's always interesting to me as people find you probably found the YouTube channel or one of the pages that I have all the videos, right? And I've tried to synthesize the essence of it down into a title. And so it's interesting, kind of the Roche text test or whatever they call that thing, right? Like which ones do people go to? So cool that you went to the leaving the corporate one. So, and you're resonating with the future self. So that's going to be natural. I think we'll do future self with you and or inquiry. We'll see. Yiely, I think it's going to be inquiry with you. Just to kind of meet what's the now, but you're also bringing forward the future, of course, because the healthcare field that you're in, that's so intimately tied to these various developments, because they will impact the world at large, right? And stabilize economies and things, hopefully, let alone the health ramifications of it all. But there's collective and individual I can hear in you, as it is for most of us. So let's give it a go with the animals doing their thing as well. I love being an animal person myself. I'm okay with the mayhem of it, but we'll see how it progresses and see how your concentration goes. Okay, screen share again here. I'm just going to work with a blank sheet of paper here. And Denise, to the curiosity, that can mean many things. I mean, sometimes I attract a lot of visual practitioners, and it's funny reading the notes, right? Because I'm here to snoop. Well, you can snoop through the YouTube, and that'll learn things. And if it's here to come and do the processing work, right? So But I honor that, of course, we have different aspects of ourselves, and some of those aspects are here to track at various levels. So by all means, track away at the visual skills level of things. That's going to naturally happen, but also tracking's going to happen at other levels too, not just the head, but like I'm saying, the nervous system, as we're doing inquiry work, will do its thing too. Now, when I work with a person doing inquiry, it can sometimes look a little odd from the outside, because as I'm going to be working with Yiely and suggesting different things, there are different things that she's going to be doing in her awareness and consciousness. So that's kind of an inside game, right? So I'm on the outside too. I'm very empathic, so I can feel things and kind of have my guesses about what's going on, but she's going to really be guiding us. Sometimes when we're working with someone and what they're focusing on, it's double duty for us, that there's either we have something very similar or something that we can apply to it. So we have stuff happening in our mind and our body, and sometimes not so much. So if it's not so much, just hang in there. Your mind can watch the visual skills kind of side of it and be tracking it and ask me questions about that. Yeah, but hopefully, usually there's some parallel processing. Okay, so with that said, Yiely, let's get you unmuted. And we're just gonna, this is easy, but sometimes challenging, to just meet what is. And so as you could take a couple breaths here, as we all will, and you've set a context that you're in the healthcare system and you're having to understandably meet, I'm going to guess that's colleagues and fellow peers, and I don't know if it's people direct in the field or patients themselves, or you're supporting people who are there direct with patients, right? But we can just kind of feel all those people in that system and the various emotions and feelings and sensations and events and things that are happening for them. So, and you're in an X marks the spot right now. So as you kind of focus into that, what's the first thing that emerges? It might be a thought, it might be a feeling, it might be a memory of something, whatever the heck it is. What is it that comes up for you kind of first?
I'm not quite sure why I have this image, but it's just an image that is just present. Just a really wide field and a really wide landscape with a massive black hole in the middle.
Wow, okay. Black hole in the middle. Okay, so we'll just trust this. You got a landscape and then there's this black hole. Make it a little more black. So the trick all the time, whatever the heck it is.
It's really black.
Yeah, use that black hole. So there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to say, hello, landscape. Hello, black hole in the middle of it. Mine's like, huh? I don't get it. So hello, mind, because mine's there too going, I don't know why this came up, but this came up.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be a symbol from, one way to reference it would be the right brain. So just the magic sentence, one of them is, hello, whatever it is, you're welcome here. So in this case, hello, landscape with the black hole in the middle of it, you are welcome here. And as you beam that welcoming energy to this symbol that's emerged in your consciousness, just see what happens as you meet it and say hello. You might even if you don't intellectually understand it, you might just go, you're right, you're right.
Funny how you said, you're right, because I also heard when I was tapping into my right brain, a echo. So,
Okay. So now we go there, right? We just trust the process here. And out of my echo, it was mirroring an echo in there. So echo, echo, you are welcome here. Hello, hello.
And
Yep,
so
go
then
ahead.
I hear hello, hello.
And just say to the hello, you're welcome here. Whatever's behind or around, underneath the hello, you are welcome here. Communication has been established. Just see what happens. Just breathe into it. Nothing needs to happen, but just see if anything unfolds from here. We'll put meow. There we got two of them too. It's
Meow,
perfect.
meow.
Meow, meow. Right on track. Cute little kitty cat.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Now another meow meow.
Times two.
I know. What's present for me is a, a little being at the bottom of the black hole trying to communicate.
Okay, beautiful. So hello, little being. You're welcome here. Yes, there's this little being at the bottom of this big black hole trying to communicate. Absolutely. Yes, yes.
Now there's a lot of little beings.
Ah, okay. Hello, hello. Lots of little beings.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. Hello, all of you. Hello, hello. How is that underneath that black hole? Just see what naturally unfolds. Nothing needs to happen. Just seeing what emerges.
Um, at first, when I was I don't know if it's tapping into or connecting, well, maybe both, connecting with those other little beings. I thought I'm at the top of the hole looking down, asking if they need help in some way. But the message that I'm getting really clearly from those little beings is they're here to help us.
Ah, okay. Very good. Very nice. Good.
Yeah.
We are here to help you. So just thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here to help me, to help us. We appreciate that. How nice of you to come. Just see what unfolds.
So it makes sense now that they would echo back and say hello back.
Yeah.
Back because they want to help, and
That's customary. Yeah. When communication is established, they're like, hello. And boom, instantly they were there as soon as you settled in. Yep.
And there's so many of them, then I can count.
Yeah, okay, let's put that. That's information. So many, more than I can count.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps. Yeah. Ah, so acknowledging their numbers and their mass, and that they're here for help. They're here to help. Wow. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And meet that. What's happening there?
Yeah.
Is that tenderness? What is that?
It's a charging forth, knowing that they're here.
I meant the emotion.
Yeah, the emotion I would say is gusto.
Okay. Oh, so because of the gusto, then then something happened there emotionally for you, feeling their gusto. Okay, beautiful. So we're meeting gusto. We're going to put that in first. Yes to gusto. If I can get
Yes
my
to
last.
gusto.
Yeah. Yes to gusto. Gusto, you are welcome here. Yes, please. Yes. Don't we adore and love your guys' gusto? And then something happened with the whoosh of emotions, and you tell me, because looking on the outside could mean a bunch of different things. So what's that feeling as you feel their gusto and that wave of emotion rises up? What is that? Just describe that.
Yeah. Like my lungs are full.
Yes, please.
Yes.
The full lungs.
Very full lungs. And also very planted feet. A bit of tenderness and humor, because now the animals are playing in the background. And just it feels like that's the way to charge forth, is with gusto and tenderness and groundedness, and also some humor about the things we can't control, like
Yes. I mean, that's just hugely intelligent, right? And wise. So bowing to that, bowing to the, first off, this is so significant in many different ways, right? Because we're getting all sorts of symbols and imagery. We can name them all, right? But this is there's a lot going on with breathing and lungs in our current world, right? Shout out to George Floyd as well, right? So, yeah. And so, yes to lungs, and them being full and taking in precious breath and oxygen. Yes, please. Big bow to that. And then to the tenderness, or sorry, it would be planted feet as well. You know, out of that pops, not only do we have full lungs, right? So heart showing up here, but, you know, gut all the way down to planted feet. And the feet are on the ground too. So, and that's groundedness. Yes, please.
yes, yeah.
And to sweet little puppies and sweet little doggies. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, she's agreeing. Yes. We're so in this too, meow, meow.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are taking a starring role, and there's no coincidence why, because yes, please to doggy. Yes, please to kitty. And the animals and what they do, and they're energetic. And to tenderness and humor. Yes. How wise. Thank you. All this energetic that's shown up. Good. And that might be the piece in and of itself. It's lovely, but just see as you greet all this and see what unfolds from here.
The distinction it feels really different from the like this I can tell as a message I'm creating for myself versus the echoes, hellos, and we are here to help. That felt very much like a message from, not from me, or not from my head,
Right.
I guess I would say. And now the message in my head is, it'll be okay. It'll be a year to 18 months, but it'll be okay. Or maybe not, I don't know.
Okay, so now what's happening is mind's showing up. So we're gonna, hello mind.
Hello, mind.
Hello mind. Hello, my beautiful precious mind that's helped me all the way along. Yeah. You are welcome here. Couldn't live without you. Love it. Okay, so mind first off says it's going to be okay, because it's like, whoo, this other side just responded and it's computing it, right? And it's crunching it and it goes, this might make sense. We might be okay, right? And then it went somewhere else. Where did it go after that?
Yeah. Well, then they had a bit of a scrabble underneath my chair. And so now Kyber is away in his safe place, and she's under my chair in her safe place. So there's having a little timeout from each other.
Okay, let's trust the process that's showing up in your field, right? So time out and safe places. Yes, please.
Yes.
Sounds good. That's wisdom too. Yeah.
They're like, whoa, too much. I'm gonna step away for a little bit.
Yeah. So the metaphor, this symbol that the right brain is showing through what naturally happens instinctually with the animals, is yes, yes, yes. In this context that you're in the midst of, this intensity, it's saying time out, safe place. In response to the brain going, it's going to be okay, right? I think this is saying it's going to be okay. We love the brains. So it's like, yeah, yes. In response to that came time out, safe places. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Just see what happens from here. It's okay if brain continues to do its thing. And you got plenty to respond, right? It'll keep responding and giving the other flip of it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I love that you tapped into the word computing, because I've been inquiring a lot about I've been reflecting on what you said 4 years ago, Christina, about the synthetic versus the organic.
Ah, yes. Okay. That's what's coming up. Yep.
Yeah. And I think the part of me that's like, it's going to be okay, is knowing the logic and facts of, we have two of the most leading vaccination design and development programs in the world, in the University of Waterloo and University of Manitoba. And like, from a Canadian space, we have the resources to develop a vaccine, to create enough of it, and then to deploy it en masse. And there are systems in place that have been around for decades to do that. And the computing part of me is also curious about the unknowns of the dark web and AI and surveillance capitalism. And there's a book that I'm reading right now, and it starts with this concept of home and how important it is to have a sense of home. And when I think of, the two different animals and their respective parts of our home, it's so nice that they have spaces that are their own, that they know they can retreat to and get a bit of a timeout and restore their energy. And then the, next moment they're touching their noses and curious about each other again. Yeah.
Okay, good. So a lot that consciousness is shared. I just want to get down the last bit, retreat and restore. And then from there, what did you say, where they come out, reconnect?
Yeah.
Reconnect from there after that little retreat and restore. Okay, so I did my best to capture that. We're going to go back up to the top. We're going to meet it all because consciousness is just so communicating through you and to all of us. So first off, up flashes synthetic versus organic and everything that comes with that. So on the one side, it's, you know, we're in Canada and they're leading programs in the world here that are developing things. They know how to create, they can deploy en masse. There's decades long systems that they're building all on top of. So this is a chunk, you're gonna meet that. Yes, 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 you're right, you're right. Because that's valid, right? That's true from that perspective, good. And then it flipped over to the other side. Oh yeah, technology can be used in diabolical ways. The dark web, AI in terms of its negative connotations, and surveillance capitalism. So that's also right, right? So just like the decades-long systems and all that is correct, this also, it's like, and just agree with it. You're right, that stuff exists. We don't like it. We like the other one, we don't like this.
Yeah.
It's true, right? Those different aspects, it's valid. Then it naturally after that, and you met that, then it went to the importance of sense of home. How wise, thank you. Message received, importance of sense of home and having one's own space. Yes, yes, yes. We like that, we agree. Thank you, thank you. And it even went even further and said, retreat and restore, just like your animals do, retreat and restore. And then once you've done that enough, out will pop out, reconnecting from there. Yes, and yes, yes, yes. We like that. Thank you, thank you. Connecting with consciousness, you're doing beautiful. Whoever these little beings are, they're got a wealth of intelligence to share across the, beaming across the veil to you. Excellent. Just see what happens from here.
What is happening underneath me? I'm just gonna check. Yeah, still good.
They're doing this, they're retreating and restoring, and then they're reconnecting and retreating and restoring and reconnecting, showing the duality, right?
Yes.
And we could do a polarity square here. That might be homework for you because your consciousness is showing you've kind of got like connect, disconnect, right? Connect and retreat, I guess. And there's pros and cons and desires and fears in both of those. So just yes, yes, yes to the polarities. And then yes, yes, yes to the polarities together, making a whole.
Yeah. I feel like this is so helpful, and I'm working with a team right now that I'd like to bring this to them, that polarity map.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's trust the process. And I'm just going to insert in one of the maps. So let me go get the polarity map and insert this in. Pictures. There it is. Now we can all play this. So Kathy or sorry, Denise, you can jump into here as well. Just a sec. Put that a little further down in my layers.
I know it wasn't intentional that it was so large, but it's so perfectly mapped that
Trust the field, right? Yeah. So, okay. So that's where we go next is like, whoa, this is big, right? So we'll just bow to that. Yes, this is big. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the message. Yeah. It wasn't intentional, but it's right on. It's a communication. Good. Now, how this works with polarities, and shout out, it's on the map, but this is Leslie Temple Thurston's work, and she gives the okay to be able to use this. It's the marriage of spirit. So we put in the polarity that's emerging. So we've got desire to connect. And then on its flip side is the fear of connecting. And then we have desire for retreat and fear of retreat. So Denise, I'm going to get you unmuted here too. And we're going to build out this polarity square between the three of us. And you might also, Yiely, have communication from whatever is that we are here to help. So keep an eye out for if they want to get in on the game too, and we'll get theirs in there. Now, as you're observing your animals, you may be getting communications from how they do this, or you'll be also transferring that onto yourself and your personal situation and your professional situation and the collective situation, right? This is operating at many different levels all at once. How brilliant consciousness is. Denise, you and I can also go wherever we go in terms of what flashes. So us as human beings, personally, professionally, globally, let's riff a little bit on our desire for connection. I'm going to start with you, Yiely, since we're riffing off of your personal work here. Riff a bit on why would one want to connect? What's the desire for connecting?
it's how we've survived for millennia.
Okay, so survival's in there. Yes, yes, good.
Yeah. And it's also one of the most delightful and joyful things we get to experience in life. Little bites and nibbles on my fingers as
they're connecting with you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like actual nibbles from the puppy.
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We might have just gone into a fear of connecting, like, don't bite, that hurts.
Too hard.
Yeah, okay, so let's put that over on the other side.
Little too enthusiastic.
Bites, too hard. Yes, we don't like that with puppies or other things where they bite too hard and connection's a little too rough. Yeah. Okay, back to the desire for connect. Survival, yes, please. Delightful, yes, please. Joyful, yes, please. Anything, Denise, let's go to you. Anything comes to mind around connection, personally, professionally, group-wise, community-wise, globally-wise? What's good about connecting?
Well, I know when we first started and the black hole was there and all these people came in, it made me think of all the support for you to be who you are, to do what you do. Sometimes it's overwhelming because you don't realize you have so many people on your side.
Okay, good. People on our side. Good. Let's put that support. People on our side. Those are votes for connecting. Excellent. Desires for connecting. Good. Anything else that comes up for you around connection? Not just, it can be, I loved what you did with, as you're seeing Yiely and what you see emerging and how you're translating that. As you turn it to yourself or turn it to the world at large, what else about connecting?
I like the yes, 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 and inviting whatever shows up. I'm really interested in those planted feet and lungs. It was such an organic, personal, very right now, present.
Okay, good. So we'll put for connecting, inviting what shows up. the now, what's present. Good. I know for myself that this was my dream. What's my desire for connection? This has got us to doing a polarity square here. So connection, cross-fertilization. It's hard to switch the different parts of my brain, go into the process and then do this. What else is there for connecting? Sharing, do we have that? Hello, touching, laughing, humor. Also this pooling of smarts.
Like-minded.
Nice, yes, yes. Isn't that nice with connecting? How nice to connect with like-minded. Excellent. What else? Yiely, Denise, me, what else? We're kind of doing the work for the collective here. What is great about connecting?
We can move to the other side.
What's that mean?
Oh, right, because that could mean many different things. So from a cognitive space, you know, we're here now in the present. We don't currently have a vaccine, and that future space isn't quite here yet. But I know it's there. It's just we're not quite there yet.
Okay, yeah. So let me make it clear. We switched well, maybe we can. If we put this to the context, I was doing it much more general, but if we put this to the context of the vaccine and healthcare and everything, then where do you find a desire for connect? I mean, you want people to connect. You want these leading programs in the world to be connecting, right? Ultimately, from a altruistic, honorable point of view, it would be about connecting in order to connect the human species, to save the human species, to love and work with the human species.
And a vaccine isn't useful unless it's in humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so the success of whether the vaccine is even useful or not depends on our connection.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and our willingness to want to protect the young and protect
mm-hmm.
the elderly. So it's for our collective good. I'm hearing Isla whining a little bit, and that's exactly how I feel, because I need to hop off in 3 minutes to make a meeting. I'm just here on my lunch break.
So let's do this.
Okay.
There may be more to your consciousness. It took you to this retreat and restore and reconnect from there, right? And so this duality, and I followed that, and you may want to do a polarity square homework should you care to do it, because it kind of came out, right? Just on this generally. And then you may want to do it around the context of healthcare, right? And the vaccine, because you can see at those different levels, it would apply in different ways. I want to just do something real quick with your inquiry, with your consciousness. Just hop back in, if you can, to those, we are here to help people, right? They've tracked all of this, and see if there's anything beyond. They gave you this polarity that you can play in different ways. Is there anything final thing, as you kind of focus in on them, that emerges to wrap up your inquiry?
They're saying we're always here.
Ah, lovely. Okay. So bow to that. And whatever feels like a way of giving thanks, if there's any gifts, if there's any thanks, if there's any offerings that you want to send to them, do that and just see what happens as you do that.
I just want to thank you for your time, Christina, and Denise for being here. It's so lovely to meet you, and I hope to see you again. I just bow in thanks to you, Christina, for all the really important work you're doing and you continue to do.
Thank you, Yiely. And
Thank
a big bow to consciousness in the form of all these ones who, lots of them, so many we can't count, who are here to help you and us. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye for now.